Bitcoin is still very bullish, and you need to know about this because Bitcoin just broke out of a large descending triangle from the downside, and it's now approaching one of its final levels of resistance before it sees its next breakout. Now, if you're new to the channel, my name is Brendan, otherwise known as the Crypto Analyst. We're trying to hit 10,000 subscribers by the end of this year, so if you are new here and like this content, make sure to hit the like and subscribe button, turn on those post notifications. But let's go ahead and get right on into this Bitcoin technical analysis and talk about where the price of Bitcoin can go from here. Now, this is a very unique situation because, as you remember from yesterday's video, whether you watched it or not, I talked about the Litecoin FUD causing quite the dump in this market, which is where we're seeing this wick come from, and it looked pretty scary. People were saying that crypto wasn't quite ready to see its next move to the upside, but following this FUD, I think people really realized that this wasn't the fault of cryptocurrency at all, and in fact, the crypto markets are stronger than they've ever been. So with this happening, we have seen support touch not once, not twice, but 3 separate times, and we saw the breakout as we zoom out here from this descending triangle, and we are approaching the last level of resistance being this 100 EMA, and as we talked about in some of the previous videos, this like 4,700, 4,500 is going to be one of the biggest areas of resistance that Bitcoin has until it gets towards 50K. Really, I would say until it gets towards 49,000, 50,000, this is one of the last levels of major resistance that Bitcoin has, and even then, if it can break through 49, 50K, I don't see anything stopping Bitcoin from touching that previous high of 53,000. Now let's talk out and zoom out a little bit here and look at this on a one-day chart so we can kind of picture what's happening in the macro, because ultimately everyone has their eyes set on this all-time high of like $65,000, right? Everyone wants to see $65,000 break, but is it realistic? And I think the answer is yes. Now, if we zoom out on this daily candle, this is printing beautifully. All this needs to do is, in my opinion, hold above like $46,500. And if this candle can do that, I see this as an ultimate win for Bitcoin, because now it's above this falling channel that we had previously seen. And the way and the reason that I say that this was a falling channel is because we can see all the candle body closings inside of here. And not only this, but we're seeing the wicks inside of this parallel channel rejecting and being used to support on the support and the resistance of this falling channel, as we just saw in a little bit more depth on that 4-hour chart. But now that this is breaking out, we're not only clearing this falling channel, but we're also clearing what looks to be like the last level of resistance from this most recent tank. Now, I had previously not been buying back in any of my cryptocurrency. I sold almost all of it off really when Bitcoin was around 52, 53,000 right before the tank. And I am now planning to start layering my crypto buys back in and get back in, because this is looking fairly strong. We're now above all the EMAs. They're all looking pretty healthy. The 100 EMA held once again for Bitcoin, which is just beautiful to see. But as this is continuing here, I am starting to see the strength of Bitcoin again. Now, September is historically not the best month for Bitcoin. It's no secret. But as September comes to an end and as kind of this summer transitions into fall, I do want to get into cryptocurrency because for whatever reason, cryptocurrency is historically bullish in the fall to winter transitional periods. Not sure why. Of course, there are a couple of exceptions to this rule, but I do see this still as a dip buy. I want to accumulate some more Bitcoin. I want to accumulate some more Ethereum, even though they're having a little bit of scalability issues right now. And I definitely have a lot of alts that I want to talk about in the future videos here. But as I want to get back to Bitcoin here, if it can get past this little last speed bump that it has, I don't see any reason that it can't see some more upside towards that $49,000, $50,000 area. After that, I don't see any reason why it couldn't go up to 53. If it were to break 53, I think Bitcoin would have quite the nice ripping back up to like $59,000, $60,000, which is going to be the previous shoulder line of this head and shoulders pattern that we saw at all-time highs. Excuse me. Voice is going a little bit in and out. On the RSI and the MACD, we talked about this either in a live stream or a couple of days ago in a video. The MACD here is rounding off. This is a really good sign that the bears were weakening, and ultimately the RSI is pointed back upwards for the time being. I do want to take a quick look on this, and I haven't looked at this on a 4-hour chart, but what we were looking at is for an ultimate higher swing low on this RSI. We saw that, and of course, Bitcoin has been taken off since then. MACD over here, maybe we see a little bit of a pullback. Don't use the 4-hour MACD quite as much anymore, but ultimately the oscillators are pointing back upwards, getting ready to cross, and that's always a good sign as well. I think overall here, to kind of to wrap all of this up and summarize what we're looking at here, volume started to increase again. It wasn't as low as what we had been seeing, so I think that that is a good thing as well as I'm looking at the volume down here. But ultimately, Bitcoin needs to break out here. It needs to break above 47,500, which is very, very close to doing, and I think that it's entirely possible. What this would do is actually revert a lot of our EMAs back upwards, avoid that death cross on the 4-hour time scale, which, as we can see right now, is just ever so close to happening. Bitcoin did a very sharp swerve here, and I would say almost as sharp as when we saw this giant bull trap. We're now seeing just a potentially giant bear trap. And this reminds me so much of like when we were back in 2017, 2018, and this sort of stuff would happen all the time. You'd have a bull trap turn into a bear trap, turn back into a bull trap, turn back into a bear trap, and just all of a sudden you have shorts and longs and everyone in between getting liquidated. And it is quite the time to be back in cryptocurrency. So I hope you all are enjoying it quite as much as I am. I am certainly having a great time making this content and trading this market. So if you did enjoy this and want to see more content like this one, and maybe you found it educational in some way, share it with a friend, hit that like button, give me a comment in the comment section down below and let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you want to see more content like this. Turn on those post notifications, and we have a lot more content coming this way very, very soon as we try to pump out about 5 videos a week. And again, we are trying to hit 10,000 subscribers by the end of this year, so spread the good word. But that's going to go ahead and wrap this up. Stay tuned for tomorrow's video, and I'll see you all in the next video.